Oh, a whip is hot. A whip is hot. Bow down, bitches. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Marvel Studios' Echo. We are now on to episode 3, which is called, I think it is Tuklo. It might be Tuklo. Apologies if I butchered that pronunciation. All right, so in the last episode, we see that Maya finally put into motion some of the plans that she has around striking back at Kingpin's organization for everything that they've done and also for coming after her. She recruited her fairly clueless cousin into it to be her getaway driver, and she basically attached an explosive to one of the shipments that she knew was going to one of their big munitions warehouse. In her mind, she believes that is like the central place where the weapons come from. I don't know if that's true. I just feel like that's probably not, but that's what she went with. The explosion went according to plan, but unfortunately, the ripple effect has already started to hit. Her uncle was already called. There's suspicions as to who did it and whether or not he had anything to do with it. And we see that he was very upset with Maya because he basically said, look, you know, you're doing this is going to endanger everybody close to you. Like everyone you care about is going to be the ones who suffer for this plan. But at the moment, Maya's kind of going with the attitude of there is nobody that I care about that's left, aka since her dad is gone, no one else matters. So obviously that's not true because her best friend is still in this town that she's been hiding out in. And now said best friend is aware of the fact that she's back in town and wants to know why Maya has not contacted her. So that's pretty much where we were last episode. And so I'm ready to jump into this one and see how the ripple effects continue to come out from this explosion and how it's going to affect the people around her. So I'm going to jump into the episode. Just before I do, a reminder that I do all kinds of different shows here on this channel, including other Marvel shows. And if you'd like to follow me on this journey or support me on other ones, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. And please show some love to this video with thumbs up and comments if you are feeling it. Okay, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. 1800s Indian country was infested with dangerous criminals threatening the safety of native nations. Tribes established their own police force to bring these criminals to justice. Fair? These tribal police were called the Lone Ranger. No. Light Horsemen. Close enough. Oh, this is an interesting little settlement in the prairie. Or a cult. Not bang. Ah, yes, I forgot. This is the way films used to be back in the day, kids. Before sound could be incorporated, you used to have silent films. And you'd have to do a lot of reading. So you think subtitles are hard now. Her father was a light horseman, but Tuklo was a mighty force all on her own. Good for you, girl. The time is right, father. I'm ready to join you. I want to be a light horseman. Or a woman. That expression? No, women are life givers. Men are life takers. Not completely wrong there. To give life means nothing if I cannot protect it. Storms off into the sunset. Braids are for men. Braids are for Choctaw warriors. Interesting. I love learning the history of how hair, was viewed in different cultures. They will see me not as they think I should be. They will see me as I am. Okay, she said, I'm going to let them think I'm a boy. Do what you got to do, girl. Across the plains, the light horsemen are called to action. Already taken out? A trap! Meanwhile, Tuklo senses something. Oh, is the Earth Mother gonna... Yep. Your hand's gonna start glowing, sis? So is this the flash that we saw Maya see last episode? Okay, so they flash back through everybody who's been touched by the same energy, it looks like. All right, girl, go save your daddy and all of his strong men that are life takers. There she be. He's like, my baby girl. 1 down. 2 down. Beautiful short film. I mean, sure, I'm buying if you're selling.
I'm just fine.
Mm-hmm.
You could do better than that.
Yeah, I mean, you fell for it once. Don't play coy now.
I didn't come here to get leg humped by some old rest dog like you.
Ah, you used to melt like butter when I talk to you.
This is so intimate.
Morning.
So these two aren't together anymore? It's sad. My guess is it's ever since the daughter's death, I guess. That does happen to a lot of couples, unfortunately.
She's too much like her father.
Oh, okay.
That. You don't even know her.
Exactly.
You know, you two are exactly.
Thank you.
We are not.
You are. That's exactly why she gets under your skin.
You lost your daughter.
She lost her
Why
mother.
don't you just swallow your pride before you lose your granddaughter, too? Sure. Maybe you should just listen for once.
Oh. How about that? How about that? Oh, is that why y'all broke up? Because you realized he's right, you don't want to admit it? I'm going to be real with you. As ladies, that's probably one of our one things. It's true. Some of us have a real hard time admitting when we're wrong, especially the men. But there's times when you got to just, like he said, swallow the pride.
Tonight, have her ready. Wait for my call.
Oh, it's funny that you think you're going to be able to contain Maya. This will be fun. Let's see. Oh, by the way, the faux hawk's not working at all. Oh, that's a new face. So that's how they got you. I don't know why you would walk by yourself after what you've done, ma'am. The way I would always make sure I'm someplace where I could visually see what's going on, because unfortunately she has the disadvantage of not being able to hear someone coming up on her. Well, I mean, technically you could probably pull your leg out of the one. Didn't I say? I don't know. They weren't really thinking stringing her up by her feet, huh? Yeah, her uncle's like, I told you so. So Maya, tell me, was this part of your plan? Was this all the part that was all going to map out you being, drugged and dragged into this place? Yeah? Just leave. Oh, that's her friend. Yeah, leave. I don't want you to get hurt, but she's definitely not gonna.
I just have some questions I want to ask privately.
How about you call me tomorrow? The rink's being audited by the IRS, and I'm just swimming in paperwork.
Right. Sign language. Thank God.
Appreciate it. Night, Bonnie.
Yep, she's not leaving. I mean, I'd tell her to call the cops, but Fisk owns the cops, so... Oh yeah, she's got a radio. Forgot about that.
Dispatch? Dispatch, Mr. Poe.
Damn. See how this doesn't involve anybody, right? Maya going according to plan. No one you care about gets hurt. So can we leave the deep conversation and questions for later? Let's just try to get out of here alive first. We don't have time. Yeah, well, it's a long story, and can we talk about it later? Yeah, it was a bit of a dark place for her. Oh my gosh, this is not the time for this. I mean, understandable, but not the time.
Still a chance for you to get out of this alive. You really think he's going to pay you? And then just
Right?
walk out of it?
These are gangsters, you dummy. Anyway.
Hey, guns down.
I can talk to her. Please.
Gun down, Grace. Come on.
Grace thinks she's so tough.
We're supposed to be fighting each
I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah, go!
other. We need her alive. Let's get out of here.
They're here.
Okay, throw her back in there too? No, she's coming with us.
Come on.
You do know she works with, like, emergency services. Something happens to her, you're gonna get arrested. But, y'all are dumb.
Guaranteed, it's the real deal. Assuming you brought that money.
Oh, no. We got protocols, right? You don't let that walk in with the money, do you?
Exactly. Isn't that what he just got told? Bye.
Find out, boys. She's here somewhere. So I was thinking you show me that money first and make sure it's all there. Like, I need to know that you have it.
You bring him to your place. You bring him to your domain. Don't you know you do things like this? You meet in a neutral location where you have the advantage? But okay. Natural selection, I believe they call it. Wow, she's been in there long enough to start building things. What is going on? Nice. She made projectiles out of nuts and bolts.
Where you at?
She can't. Do you know what death means? Oh, God, that would hurt. Right in the titty. Right in the titties. I feel like the face hit didn't even hurt as much.
To be making a deal, not giving them the grand tour.
Can you let me handle this, Grace?
Oh my God, you're not even in charge of these girls? You're not even in charge of the girls.
We're actually not at liberty to say until we get our money.
Anyways, keep digging because I'm ready for you to go. Mm-hmm. Do you still have things under control?
Matter of fact, she probably needs a hand with that. So
Oh, really? Both of you leaving at the same time? Okay. Wow. Wow. Anyway. Bye, Vicky.
What? Look, there's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky wants to go out.
With your nervous body language and your shifty eyes.
Oh, no.
Ah, natural selection.
Where is Maya Lopez?
Through the witches and slam in the back of my Dracula. This is a good song. What? You guys don't like a little rock music? This is Maya's domain though, because she doesn't rely on her hearing like y'all do. No, seriously, we never think about how our hearing can actually be a detriment to us, right? Obviously, by and large, it helps us, but loud noise, really, really loud noise is disorienting. It's painful. It's distracting. The way she posed him, that was baller. Not the disco ball saving people's lives. I bet you never thought dance could save you. Now you know. Woo! Right in the moneymaker. Ooh. My brother, I don't even know why he was there. That's right. Beat him with the gun. Good night. All these bodies. Oh, but look at the children. What are they going to play with? My brother, again. This is not the place for you. And you got up again? I was about to say, man, you know those aren't real, right? Ooh, a whip is hot. A whip is hot. She said, get down. Bow down, bitches. Oh, those hurt. Those hurt. They hurt a lot. Why are you laughing? You're one man. You're one man. That's your ringtone? We were almost scared of you until then. Maya's like, thank God I can't hear.
Let's go.
Ooh, okay, Maya, you have a friend in a high place. Or a benefactor. How and why, and what's it going to cost you? Yeah, I'm confused too. Nah, that's right, let her know. You could have broken my ocular cavity. They almost... Maya, that's a promise you can't keep. But look, they were going to hurt all of them. You don't know that.
The part where we were kidnapped by the guy who cleans my skates, or the part where we almost die because there's a price on your head.
We.
There's only one person who could have.
The pin? Because he's not gone. But he's the kind of man that would want to see you personally. There's no way he'd want anyone else to take you out.
I'm helping you.
I mean, you kind of don't have a choice at this point. They know you're involved one way or another, or they're going to assume you're involved. So thanks to Maya, which again, I don't think it was fair for her to drag her uncle in, but desperate times, I guess. Damn, Grandpa almost got popped. Can't be sneaking up on a girl who can't hear. Ooh, shiny. His face. I love Graham Greene.
That means Chakta Tushka is on the scene.
He said, be proud of your heritage, girl. Lord knows they tried to wipe it out. He's like, my work. It's beautiful, though. I mean, I understand what she's saying. It does make you pretty, makes you stand out when you're trying not to. But how many indigenous slash Latina women with one leg and who are deaf exist? Who are very good at martial arts. Like, she's already pretty much a unique person. So
You won't go see her.
you sure? That is true. I put more on the grandmother because she was an adult when Maya left. It's true Maya could do more now, but is she leaving for real? That's probably the best thing, honestly. Is she actually gonna talk to her grandmother? Still running from her family, but I get it. It's more than just what she's doing now. There is a lot of pain and history with her family that I think she's still clearly not dealt with, still running from. I cannot believe Biscuits is in here humming and singing after breaking this woman's truck. Come on, Grandma, aren't you supposed to be worshiping right now? And what's sad is that Maya really doesn't need to talk to her because she's the only one who could probably talk to her about these visions she's been having. Wait, is that him for real? Why would she hallucinate him? Oh God, he's back up and everything. Damn, that was quick. Are you human? And of course he would know where you would go. He knows you, Maya. Don't look at me with your one eye. It's creepy. Avert your eye. Whew, okay. Well, that's how we're ending it. And yes, they were right what they said in the episode, that the only person that could call off a hit would have been Fisk. And like I said in the episode, it makes sense. Out of all the people that would want to personally do that, it would be Fisk, because we all know that man's got a serious rage problem and he holds grudges forever. The man does not let go of a grudge. Woo, wow. Okay, guys. Well, this episode was, again, we had the name of it being based on another person. I'm assuming that's in Maya's lineage. I'm not sure if they've established. I'm assuming it has to be, because why else would she be? Why else would we have this linkage, I guess, to the first Choctaw warrior? But I'm assuming that Tuklo was someone that was in her lineage. We're back until about what would that be, the 1700s, somewhere in there. But she, again, was someone who was a fierce fighter, and she also wanted to defy the norms that were set out, especially for women at that time. She wanted to be someone to protect her family. And in the time of need, that's exactly what she did. She got the same visions that Maya had, and that's that warrior we saw in the last episode had, Loak, and then eventually all the way back to her, the first Choctaw. And it gave her the power to be able to defend her family all those years ago against those criminals that were on their land. And we see that Maya actually had to tap into that energy again. And because we see that, well, a couple episodes ago we saw, was it 2 episodes or just last episode? I feel like it was back in episode 1. But Vicky, the guy who works for her uncle, he found out about the bounty on Maya and called it in because he thought he would get rich. And at first I was wondering, I mean, I kind of knew the uncle would never turn her in because he knew what it would mean. But we see that her uncle obviously had nothing to do with it. And this man ended up drugging her, which is something that, again, I guess Maya just didn't anticipate that she would get jumped in her hometown like that, right? Because most of the people there don't have the kind of skills to go up against her. So she wasn't really thinking. Her guard, like I said, was obviously down. But she also had a vision right before that happened too, which I think had her more distracted than she normally would be, of that first Choctaw warrior, so Chafa. So again, I'm not sure where these visions are going yet and how. I mean, I think they were trying to be a warning. I think Chafa was trying to warn her that something was about to happen. But again, Maya has no idea why these are happening to her, why she's having these dreams. So this is, again, where talking to her grandmother would be helpful, but maybe we'll get there this season. But yes, outside of that, she gets kidnapped, as we see, and Bonnie is trying to get to her and talk to her. And because thankfully the whole family knows sign language, her uncle was able to try to warn her. But again, they kind of knew something was a bit off, mostly because Bonnie did not play it off the way she should have. Bonnie's not good at this whole, you're in danger kind of play it off situation. She acted really weird, stayed a little too long, and then, of course, went right for her radio rather than getting into her truck and just trying to drive away. But anyway, that forced the interface between Bonnie and Maya, something that needed to happen for a while, obviously. And, through the whole episode, of course, I was saying, like, can we focus on something other than this talk? But I get it. Like, they probably aren't going to have a chance to have they probably aren't going to have a chance to talk again with everything that's going on with Maya. So they needed to do it in this scene. But we basically get the gist of what's happened. Maya's really been distancing herself from Bonnie. I'm certain I think if they could have stayed more in contact when they were kids, maybe things would have been tighter. And it sounds like they did, but I guess as Maya got older, she started to text her less and less or contact her less and less. And I'm pretty sure some of that had to do with the fact that Bonnie, we don't know yet, but I'm going to assume that Bonnie was probably much like her uncle and her grandfather, probably encouraging Maya to try to mend the fence with her grandmother, because Bonnie's very close to her grandmother as well, right? Like, again, I'm not sure where Bonnie's parents are and whether or not their grandmother was raising Bonnie. I get the sense that she was. But if that was the case, especially, you completely would understand why Bonnie would want her grandmother, their grandmother, and Maya to reconcile and to build a bridge back to each other, because that would really complete the family the way that it should be. So I could see Maya not necessarily wanting to continue, or maybe distancing herself, I should say, from Bonnie, if that was something that Bonnie was pushing for. And I could see as the years go on, that Bonnie would probably push for that even more, because as we know, that sad reality is, as our family members get older, we know that there's less and less time we have left to spend with them. So I could see her maybe thinking, with the urgency of her grandmother's age, that they should do something. But then, of course, we know Maya's dad passed away, and then she was just in a very dark place where she really wasn't contacting anyone, right? She really shut down emotionally, mentally, and it was really Fisk's work that got her out of that shell to some degree. So anyway, they had their conversation, and Maya, of course, was being very dismissive. She's still trying to keep that wall up. And Bonnie, understandably, is just like, I just want us to talk. Like, I'm trying to let you know that I'm still here, and I just don't understand why you're cutting me out. Like, and I get it. As a best friend, almost a sister, why would you do that? But, this unfortunately is not the time for Maya to get into the depths of her emotions. So she doesn't say much. Basically she keeps it very, very distant and basically says, look, we got to get out of here. Doesn't tell her why they're in this situation, because she's trying to keep Bonnie as ignorant as possible. And of course, they don't have a lot of time to do anything because, of course, someone came to check on them and things don't go exactly according to plan there. But then we see a bunch of Fisk's men show up eventually, and they force Maya to go into Action Jackson, as she always does. And she manages to actually put a hurting on quite a few of them, but there's just too many. And the main reason that really Maya was not able to do anything about this is because there were two people she cared about who were collateral damage. Like, if it was just her, she probably would have been able to slip out of there. But because they had Bonnie and her uncle, she just couldn't risk leaving or doing something that would risk one of them getting hurt, because she knows that Fisk's men absolutely would hurt them if that's what it took. So that's what ended up happening. And they were dead to rights, quite frankly. They got to the point where this man had the jump. And of course he was going to take it because his ego was bruised. But Fisk ended up calling it off at the last minute, very, very last minute. And of course, Maya was first like, who would it be? Like, she's like, who could possibly have called this off? Who would he listen to? And I was hoping maybe it could possibly be a third party benefactor who wants to hit Fisk too. But I'm like, who else would know? As I thought about it, I'm like, no one else would know about this situation, really, unless they were watching Maya for some time. But unfortunately, it was indeed Fisk, and that's what her uncle told her. Is like, there's only one person who has got the authority to call that off that Zane would listen to. And we saw that. The guy on the, Zane was like getting really shook when he was talking on the phone. So it had to be someone he feared. So that, of course, the uncle said at that point, like, we're both in it at this point. I didn't want to get involved, but you kind of pulled me in, and now I'm here, and they threaten me now. And like I said in the episode, he's part of it now. There's no way that Fisk is not going to associate the two of them together with this or make him pay in some way anyway. So he's like, I'm in it. I'm going to help you in any way that I can because I kind of have to try to protect myself in the process. So they are now at least working together officially. And we see that Maya is back in action as far as having her proper leg back. Really sweet moment with her and her grandfather. You know, he made her a really lovely piece that represents their culture and their background, which I love. And we see Maya kind of saying like, oh, it's a bit, you know, flashy for me, but I love that he brought it back to, you know, you are singular in the sense of who you are in a place that does not have a lot of people like you. And also, for being realistic, there's just not as many indigenous people as there used to be. So that makes her even more special, and that she should be proud of her heritage and not afraid to kind of show it off and let it shine. And so I do like that. And I do love how many ways this show is really trying to shine a light on indigenous culture, heritage, and how beautiful and special and unique that it is, and their stories and how beautiful they are. So I really like that messaging that he put through there, as especially since Graham Greene himself is an indigenous actor. But digressing, he also then tells her that she should try to reconcile with her grandmother, which is a conversation he also had with her grandmother. And Maya basically uses the excuse that she doesn't think her grandmother wants to see her, and that's why she's not making the first move. And she also says that her grandmother could have reached out at any point, and she never did. And as I said in the episode, I agree. Her grandmother was the adult when Maya left, and it was on her to reach out. I don't think that Maya's father would have stopped that. From what we saw, he was very unapologetic. He didn't want to leave. That was because the grandmother insisted that he leave. So she really was mad at him and taking it out on Maya. And that wasn't fair. And again, I don't think it was necessarily all just taking it out on Maya. She also probably was going through her own grieving process, and seeing a child that reminds you of your daughter that you've lost. I could see her maybe just not being able to handle that at the moment. But again, point being, you're the adult, and children have a habit of internalizing things like that and blaming themselves. And Maya probably took that as her grandmother basically saying she didn't love her, or that she didn't deserve her, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was up to her grandmother, is my point, at least initially. But yes, when Maya became an adult, she definitely could have made some steps to talk to her grandmother as well. They're very similar. The reason that Maya and her grandmother are butting heads is because they are very similar, and they both are very stubborn. But hopefully they'll find some way to at least come to a middle ground sometime, because as I said, time is not infinite. It's not guaranteed. In the way that Maya's living, she may not even live long enough. But yeah, you know, just it would be sad if those two can't find a way to at least talk, because they both need each other very much. They both have that sad shared grief of someone that they love that they lost tragically. So that was pretty much all we had this episode. They really did focus on this history, the Toklo story, and then of course seeing Maya getting very close to having her journey end. And now we ended the episode with her coming face to face with the king. He is not gone. I guess we have to take away her title of king killer because she didn't do it. But now I'm very interested to see what will happen here. My guess is he might try to bring her back into the fold, because while Fisk is probably extremely angry at her, I also think in his twisted mind he respects her and respects that she did what she did and tried to do what she did. And he doesn't like to lose good people, especially if he thinks they could be loyal. So yes, I am very interested to see what that conversation between the two of them will be like, and I will look forward to seeing it in the next episode. But this one was, again, very good. I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love to this video, and I will see you in the next one.